welcome back to Matcha Talks, and welcome to the new year, 2026. What the fuck? I know I'm late to this, but I thought I would film a journal ecosystem video because I am really into journaling, and last year was kind of my first year writing. So I used to follow Amanda Rachel Lee. If you know, you know. She would make bullet journal follow along with me tutorials, and I would do that like since 2018, I think. And then I did like different variations of journaling up until today. So I thought I would show you my journaling system. So let me just show you what last year's was. So I had 3 notebooks, and then they kind of finished throughout the year, so I didn't have them all at once. But I had this Muji September to September planner. It was for college, so it's from 2024 September to 2025 September, so I didn't have it for the last 4 months of the year, which was unfortunate. But I absolutely love this planner. I would use it for writing what I had to do, and then it's set up like this, kind of like the other Japanese stationery one I've seen, where this is for the weeks. I think it's the Hobonichi weeks is what people call it. So this is the weeks, and then this is like a blank page where I would write to-do lists, video ideas. Anyway, I was obsessed with this. I really liked it. It also has a calendars in the front, which really helped me out because the girl has ADHD, and if I don't plan everything in my life, it's gonna fall apart. So this book was phenomenal. And then I decided to get a commonplace journal. This was in January of 2025, so I had only used this for like since September to January, and then I was like, okay, I need a creative outlet, which is why I got this book. And this book was essentially for journaling, tracking lists. I tracked all the books I read, I did my habit trackers, and then I also just journaled a lot. And honestly, this was my first year properly like writing a diary. I would stick some stuff in sometimes, just a bunch of random shiza. I really enjoyed this system. Later in the year, I felt like it was getting kind of cluttered, so I thought that for next year I would come up with a different system, which I did, but later on that in a bit. These are kind of just some of the spreads that I did. It's not very artistic. It was really messy, but I like that because it gave me freedom to express myself. Oh, I'm gonna keep dropping this. I also wrote a letter to myself, which was really fun. I opened it, and I think I accomplished everything that I wanted to in a year, which is really nice to look back at. So I had these 2 books, and then when I moved to Germany, I didn't have enough of this book left, so I was like, I can't survive without a notebook, so I bought another one. And this is essentially the same concept, except I didn't have a planner anymore, so I would write my own months like that. So kind of like a bullet journal, essentially. I made this calendar myself. And then I would also do monthly trackers, and then like a weekly thing. I also did some sketching. That's a really bad sketch, but yeah. Loads of journaling as well. Oh, I didn't tell you what the notebooks were. So this was the Muji September to September planner. This was a German company that I found in a German bookstore called Plan A, and they had loads of different sizes of notebooks. It's a softback, which I think I prefer. And this is Rhodia, which is kind of expensive. It's like on the Moleskine Leutram genre of notebooks, so I asked it for Christmas. It was like €20 for a notebook. That's really spenny. I think I really like writing lists, painting, but then again I thought this was like fun, but it was still really cluttered. You know, it's hard when everything is in one notebook, so for this year I decided I would split it. So let me show you what I came up with for this year. This year I also have 3 notebooks, but I'm going to use them all at the same time. So we have a kind of warm orangey tone going on. I wanted to find this notebook in another color, but I couldn't. So then this year I decided to go a bit cheaper because your girl is broke. Let me show you my 3 journal system. For starters, I reordered my Muji notebook, and then I made a mistake. I was supposed to order the exact same size because I really like this kind of size, and I thought it was A5. This is just me being stupid, and like I can't do math, I can't do numbers. So I thought this was A5, so then I ordered it A5, but obviously it's not A5. This, I think, is like A6, so this is just me being an idiot. So it is a bit bigger than I wanted, but I still think it's so cute. Look at the red color. I mean, I just think red is so vibrant and nice. It came a bit late, so I only got to use it really last week. So it's the exact same layout, just a bit bigger, which honestly could be good. So we've got the calendars, which I already started filling out, and then we've got the weeks and the like blank page, which I'm using for like ideas, to-do lists, finance trackers. You might notice that like my journaling isn't very aesthetic. I used to do like really beautiful spreads in my bullet journals. One day I want to go through like my whole entire journals that I've used throughout the years and what I've learned, which I think would be fun. But for now, this is what we're working with. And one thing I really like about the Muji journals is that they have this like nice, like, what's it called, vinyl cover. I just feel like it feels so nice. Anyway, I'm really happy with it, and I love the color so much more than this one because it just gives like vibrant and joy, and I feel like that's a good sign for the year and how the year's gonna go. Like happy and colorful, because that's what I want. Yeah. Moving on. So now in the same kind of warm theme, I've already decorated it. I put some stickers on, cowboy, some fun random stuff. This is from a company called Paper Age. I found this notebook in TK Maxx and it was only around €7, so this was about €13. The Muji one, the Muji planner is €13, which is not bad. Like the Moleskine ones and the Leuchtturm ones are so fucking expensive, so I don't have the budget for that shiza. This is my Paper Age. It's also dotted like this. The Muji one is square, so it's not dotted, it's square, which I like squares and dots more than lines. I just think lines are too restrictive, I don't like them. And I feel like they make the page look already full before you even start writing. I don't know, I don't like the look of it. The paper is pretty thick on this, so I really like the quality. It is hardback though, which is okay. Like, I prefer softback, but I think this can work as well. I like it so far. Let me show you the spreads that I've already made. So this is going to be like my commonplace journal where I'm going to write lists, ideas, plan stuff, track stuff, but I'm not going to journal in it because that was what cluttered my other notebooks too much. So I've done like a 2026 goals, short term and long term. I read them. I want to get my driver's license. Hopefully it's gonna happen. Then I write books read and movies watched. So far this year I've already read I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harp, which I have some thoughts. Maybe I'm gonna make videos talking about the books that I read more often because I feel like that's so fun. I love yapping about the books that I've read. I read Just Kids by Patti Smith, which was... but I also have some thoughts. And then I read The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, which was so heart and gut-wrenching. And I have loads of thoughts as well. And then the movies I watched so far have been Haq, which is an Indian movie that came out like in November last year, I think. Really good movie about Muslim women in India fighting for their rights in like divorce and stuff. Really recommend and really enjoyed. And then I also watched this really obscure movie that my dad recommended. We watched it together, called Circle of Friends, which is based in Ireland, filmed in Ireland, set in Ireland, about Irish girls in the 1950s, written by an Irish author whose name is Maeve Binchy, who actually went to the college that I went to. And she had this like award that if you submitted a really good essay for the Maeve Binch essay submission, you could win a travel writing prize, which I did, but I never won. But yeah, it was really cool watching a movie that she wrote like in the 1950s in Ireland, because I feel like you never see movies set in Ireland, like the Irish landscape, the Irish language. Well, they're not speaking in Irish, but I mean they're like their sayings and their accents. It was just really cool seeing this snapshot of like Irish history, because I feel like you never see that on screen. It's always England, it's always the English countryside. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. Then I did my habit tracker. So this year I want to track like just my pill, because I always forget. I want to track how many days I journal. I want to track stretching. I want to wake up before 7, which I fucking haven't done yet. Let's not get started on that. I'm tracking how much I read, how much I sketch, exercise, if I study German, if I study Russian, and when I wash my hair, just to know. And I'm also tracking my mood and my sleep, which I've tried before and then I always like end up forgetting about it, but this year it's going so good so far. It's going good so far. Okay, and then yeah, here are some like already random spreads. They're not aesthetic at all, to-do lists, and like skincare ideas. I'm on the job hunt, so that's what I do every day. It's boring as hell. I also am gonna track the clothes I buy this whole year and the times I've cried. I've seen someone else do this and I think it's gonna be really interesting to look back on, because I feel like these like tell a lot about yourself. So the clothes I bought this year are New Balances. They're really cute shoes. Let me show you. Look at that! Although my friend said they look like toothpaste, which I don't know how to feel about that. And I feel I look like very much like a dad when I wear them, but they're super comfortable and they're my first pair of like sneakers. I don't really have like shoes like that. I only have like Converse and Docs, so I don't have any in between, so I'm really happy to get those. They were my belated birthday present, so I did order them a long time ago and they just arrived this year. But I thought this year I want to be very environmentally conscious and think about my money, think about what I'm spending on. So I really want to track the clothes I buy. Hopefully I gravitate towards more thrifted and secondhand stuff. This top I'm wearing is also secondhand. I thrifted this in Russia. Isn't that so cute? So I think tracking the clothes I buy will be really cool to see. And I wonder, because I don't buy a lot of clothes, so I actually really wonder like if it's gonna fill up or not. So we'll see. Then, okay, times I cried is a bit more personal, so I'm not going to show you. I'll just tell you the two funny ones. This is the times I've cried. On the 6th, I cried about Baba, okay, this is a spoiler for the Kite Runner, but Baba dying from cancer in the Kite Runner made me sob, so I wrote that down. And then on the 8th, I teared up watching Nateyam's death on Reels from Avatar. I haven't even watched the movie, but that made me tear up. And then this is more serious, but on the 11th, which was yesterday, I teared up watching the protests about Renee Good's death in Minneapolis. Yeah, heartbreaking, so incredibly sad what's happening in America. Let's not even get into it, but what the fuck's going on? Like, what the fuck's going on? But I just think tracking this about myself, like the times I've cried, is really gonna show me where my head was at every day. And I think it's important to know what brings me to tears, just to say what is happening in the current world and what's making me emotional. Also, this is super superficial, but it's interesting seeing what days I cry more often, like if I'm on my period or something. So yeah, like that was kind of ended on a sad note, but I think it's important to talk about. Anyway, because my Muji planner didn't arrive yet, I also did a weekly spread, but it's here now, so I'm not gonna have to do that anymore in this journal. Yeah, like exercise tracker, which as you can see is pretty empty because I haven't been doing it. Then like knitting, knitting patterns, like what stitches, all that kind of stuff. Some career thoughts, some Russian vocab, so it's basically like a commonplace everyday journal, which I'm really liking having so far. Okay, God, I'm yapping a lot. I haven't talked this much in so long. Every time I make a YouTube video, I talk so fast and I get so nervous that I'm always out of breath, and then I feel so stupid when I'm editing it back. It's like, girl, take a breath, calm down. Oh god. And then finally, in the last journaling ecosystem, we've got this purple notebook, which I initially didn't like the color combo, but now that I'm looking at it, it's kind of really cute. So I'm happy with that. In this notebook, it's only my journal slash diary. This is from Moleskine, actually. It was my first Moleskine purchase because I got it on sale in TK Maxx for like €8, which you'd never find, so I'm quite happy. I also wrote a letter to myself to open next year on the last day of December, so hopefully I accomplished everything I wanted in 2026, and then in 2027, which feels crazy to say, I'm very happy with my life. I am happy with my life right now, but there's many things I want to achieve. So I also did a 2025 recap, which I think I did last year, but I didn't like name it. But this is just like a snapshot of everything that happened last year, which I think was really fun to reflect and journal about. And then I just started writing like every day. So I've written on the 1st, the 2nd, the 4th, the 5th, the 8th, the 9th, the 11th. The paper is really thin, which is kind of disappointing. I don't think I'm gonna get Moleskine again for next year because it's just too thin. Also, it's blank, the paper, which I thought I would like, and it's not bad so far, but I think going forward I would prefer like a dotted or like gridded notebook. Just a little bit about journaling. Last year was the first time that I ever like properly journaled since I've been a kid. I used to write a diary, but then I stopped because I was forcing myself to do it and I didn't enjoy it. Mostly journaling has been kind of like an emotional outlet, some sort of therapy. Like if something bad happens or if something exciting happens, I will journal about it and like process my emotions. The bad thing is I noticed that I've been journaling mostly when I'm upset or sad about something or like really frustrated, angry. I'll journal about it. So, oh my god, I've been wearing this top upside down the whole time. You're fucking joking. No. That is so embarrassing and we're gonna ignore that, but I was wearing the top upside down the whole time. Ah! Moving on. Oh my god, fuck. Okay, guys, pretend it looked like this the whole time. Hopefully you didn't even notice. As I was saying, I mostly journal when I'm having negative emotions, which is kind of bad because sometimes I read back on my journals, not all the time because it's just too much to read all the time, but sometimes I do. Because it's nice having a snapshot and like a catalogue of your whole life. And yeah, most of them have been like really negative. Like, I mean, if I fight with somebody, I'll write about it, or like if somebody upset me, I'll write about it, or if I'm feeling like shit, I'll write about it. And then I'm reading all this back and I'm like, what the fuck, my life sucks. So that's kind of not what I want going forward. I'm gonna try to do like gratitude journaling where I write about everything good in my life, everything I'm grateful for, things I'm looking forward to, like manifestation and wish fulfillment kind of stuff. And I'm also going to try really hard to write when I'm very happy or something great has happened, because I feel like just journaling when I'm upset creates like this negative echo chamber and this negative energy, and I don't want that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do going forward. Yes! I guess it feels like when I'm happy, I'm just happy, you know, I'm enjoying myself. But when I'm upset, I'm like, oh, I have to do something to make myself feel better, so then I journal about it and I feel better, but I'm just dumping all these negative emotions on a piece of paper, which is good because it does clear your head out, but then I also want to remember everything that's good that's happened in my life, because I don't want to look back and be like, wow, you were such a negative little cretin. But yeah, so that's kind of my journaling system. Not in a nutshell, because I think this video is kind of long. Sorry. These are my 3 notebook systems, and then these are the 3 notebooks I used last year. I love like the little color combos, it looks so cool. Yes! Thank you so much for watching. I have a lot of ideas about making videos this year. This year I really want to grow my YouTube channel, so hopefully if you want to support me, please subscribe and like the video, and then I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching and have a great new year. Bye!